Everything you desire already exists, not somewhere far away, but within the silent theater of your imagination. The truth is, you are not waiting for your dream to appear. Your dream is waiting for you to believe. The moment you shift your inner state, the outer world bends to mirror that change. Manifestation is not about forcing, begging, or hoping. It's about knowing. Knowing that your consciousness is the source of every event, every relationship, every opportunity that unfolds in your life. You are the author and the stage, the actor and the audience. In just 4 minutes of pure focus, you can awaken this creative power within you and command reality to obey your intention. This is not fantasy, it is law. The law of assumption, the law of belief, the law of imagination made real. You've been taught to look outward for answers, to chase results, to pray for signs. But the true power lies in turning inward, to see with the eyes of faith, to feel before you see, to claim before you receive. When you realize that every scene you hold vividly in imagination must materialize, you stop living as a victim of circumstance and begin living as the conscious creator of your destiny. Today, in these few minutes, you will learn how to collapse time, reshape energy, and bring any desire, love, wealth, success, peace, into your physical experience. You don't need years of practice. You need only one moment of certainty, one act of imagination, one shift in awareness. Because once you assume it, once you feel it real, the universe has no choice but to deliver it. Imagination is the creative power. Everything that exists in your world first lived in the invisible realm of imagination. Every building, every invention, every relationship, and every dream was once only an image in someone's mind. Imagination is not a daydream or a childish fantasy. It is the very power that shapes reality itself. The unseen precedes the seen, and what you vividly imagine with conviction must eventually express itself in the physical world. The outer world is nothing more than a mirror reflecting the inner state of your consciousness. When you understand this truth, you stop trying to change the world outside and begin transforming the world within. Because the moment you alter the movie playing in your mind, the screen of life must project a different scene. Imagination is divine power hidden within every human being. It is the creative energy that builds universes, moves people, and aligns events to fulfill your inner assumptions. When you imagine with intent, you are not merely visualizing. You are commanding creation itself. You are impressing a pattern upon the infinite field of energy that responds only to belief, not effort. The secret is to imagine from the end, not toward it. Most people imagine what they want and then wonder how it will happen. But the true creator imagines from the place of already having it. You must see the world through the eyes of the fulfilled version of yourself. That is the key that transforms imagination from fantasy into manifestation. To manifest anything, you must first construct it within your mind as though it already exists. Close your eyes and step into the scene of fulfillment. If it is love you seek, imagine the warmth of that embrace, the sound of laughter shared, the feeling of being cherished. If it is success you desire, imagine the thrill of accomplishment, the weight of achievement in your hands, the joy of hearing your name celebrated. Allow your senses to participate in the scene. Feel the air, hear the sounds, sense the emotion. The more real it becomes within, the faster it will appear without. This is not pretending, it is creating. You are shifting the frequency of your being to match the vibration of your desire. Imagination does not differentiate between what is real and what is vividly felt. The subconscious mind accepts whatever you impress upon it as truth. It has no power of reasoning. It only obeys the images you feed it with emotion. So when you imagine yourself as poor, unloved, or unlucky, your subconscious reproduces those conditions faithfully. But when you dare to imagine yourself as prosperous, loved, and powerful, it rearranges the outer world to match that assumption. The law is absolute. Whatever you imagine and believe in your heart must come to pass. That is why great creators, artists, and visionaries always begin in imagination. They know that the unseen blueprint must come before the structure. Imagination is your spiritual workshop. It is the sacred space where you rehearse your future. Yet most people misuse it by imagining fear, failure, and disappointment. They visualize problems instead of solutions, and then wonder why their lives are filled with struggle. The same creative power that can build your heaven can also construct your hell, depending on how you use it. That's why awareness is everything. You must become the master of your imagination, not its servant. Direct it consciously each day. See yourself as the person you wish to be, not as the person your senses currently show you to be. When your inner image changes, the outer must follow. When you begin to live from imagination rather than reaction, miracles happen. Opportunities emerge, people appear, and circumstances shift as if by magic. But it's not magic, it's law. The moment you hold an image with unwavering faith, unseen forces conspire to bring it into being. Life becomes a mirror reflecting your dominant inner movie. You are never a victim of circumstance. You are always the creator of circumstance. Each time you imagine with feeling, you are giving birth to a new reality. You are rewriting the script of your life, and the universe obeys that script without question. The power to imagine is the power to choose your future. When you consciously direct your imagination, you no longer drift through life. You design it. Sit quietly for a few minutes each day and enter the silence of your own mind. Build the scene of your fulfilled desire and feel it as real. Let it be alive within you. Don't look for signs, become the sign. Don't chase results, embody the result. You are not waiting for it to happen. It's already done in the unseen. Your only task is to sustain that inner vision until it solidifies into form. Remember, the world you see is nothing more than the echo of your imagination. Change the inner story, and the outer must obey. Every time you picture yourself succeeding, loving, growing, or thriving, you are rewriting the code of reality itself. Imagination is the seed of destiny, and your attention is the water that brings it to life. The more you nurture the vision within, the more certain its arrival becomes. There is no limit to what you can create because there is no limit to your imagination. In just 4 minutes of focused imagining, deeply feeling your wish fulfilled, you can set powerful forces in motion. You don't need complicated rituals, endless affirmations, or external validation. You need only the quiet conviction that what you imagine is already yours. As you persist in this inner knowing, your outer life begins to rearrange itself to match it perfectly. The entire universe is a mirror of your imagination, and it faithfully reflects whatever image you hold most clearly. So imagine wisely, feel deeply, and live boldly. For your imagination is not a dream, it is your divine power to create reality. Feeling is the secret door. In the journey of manifestation, thought is the spark, but feeling is the fire that brings the vision to life. You can think of a desire all day long, but until you feel its reality within, it remains a distant dream. Feeling is the bridge between the invisible and the visible, between the imagined and the experienced. The moment you feel your wish is already fulfilled, the unseen world begins to rearrange itself to reflect that vibration. Emotion is not a side effect of creation. It is the essence of it. What you feel deeply and consistently becomes the foundation upon which your life is built. You cannot manifest what you do not emotionally accept as true. Feeling is the language of the subconscious mind, and the subconscious creates your reality. It does not understand words or logic, it understands emotion, conviction, and faith. When you feel something as real, your subconscious assumes it to be true, and then expresses it through circumstances, people, and events. This is why two people can repeat the same affirmation. One sees miraculous results while the other sees nothing, because one feels it and the other merely says it. Words are powerful only when they are infused with emotional certainty. Feeling is the key that unlocks the door to creation. Without it, imagination remains dormant. With it, imagination becomes a living power. Think of the times when you felt joy, excitement, or gratitude so deeply that you could almost touch the energy around you. In those moments, you were aligned with the creative flow of the universe. That same feeling is what calls your desires into form. When you feel love before love arrives, love must appear. When you feel abundance before wealth manifests, wealth must flow. This is the law of vibration. Everything in existence vibrates, and your feelings determine the frequency you transmit. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you feel. The universe is not responding to your words or actions, but to the emotional frequency you radiate. Feeling is not about pretending or forcing emotion. It is about surrendering to the inner, knowing that what you desire is already yours. You must quiet the outer noise and listen to the still voice within that whispers, "It is done." That whisper is the truth, and when you rest in that feeling, creation is complete. The world will soon catch up. When you reach the emotional state of completion, when your heart believes it before your eyes see it, time collapses. The gap between desire and reality disappears because you are now living from the end. You no longer hope, you know. You no longer wait, you are. The secret is to make the feeling of the wish fulfilled your most dominant state. Each time doubt arises, gently return to the feeling of "is done." See the scene, yes, but most importantly, feel it. Feel the relief of already having it. Feel the gratitude that wells up when you realize you no longer need to chase it. Feel the satisfaction, the confidence, the peace. Those emotions are not make-believe, they are creative signals. They tell the subconscious that the wish is fulfilled, and the subconscious immediately begins to align outer conditions to mirror that truth. The more you dwell in that emotional state, the faster reality conforms to it. Many people misunderstand manifestation as a process of effort or repetition, but it is truly a process of alignment. You do not need to convince the universe, you only need to convince yourself. Once the inner state of fulfillment is established, the outer must obey. Imagine planting a seed. You do not dig it up every day to check if it is growing. You trust it, you nurture it, and you let it bloom in its time. Feeling is that trust. It is the silent assurance that what you have imagined is already taking root in the unseen. Impatience and doubt are like pulling up the seed too soon. Faith and feeling are the nourishment that allow it to grow effortlessly. If you want to transform your life, begin by transforming how you feel about it. Before the circumstances change the feeling within. If your outer world shows lack, shift your focus inward and feel the abundance that already exists in the invisible. If you feel lonely, close your eyes and dwell in the warmth of being loved and cherished. Let the feeling take over your whole being until your heart believes it. This emotional acceptance sends out a signal that attracts people, opportunities, and outcomes that match your inner state. Life is an echo. It returns to you the vibration you send out. The beauty of feeling is that it can be mastered in moments. In just 4 minutes of deep emotional alignment, you can awaken the energy that moves mountains. Sit in silence, breathe, and enter the scene of your fulfilled desire. Don't think about it, feel it. Feel the texture of that new reality. Feel the joy, the ease, the gratitude. Let that emotion rise until it fills your chest and spills into every part of your being. In that sacred moment, you are no longer asking, you are creating. You are standing in the vibration of the fulfilled wish, and the universe must reflect it back. Feeling is the secret door because it bypasses all limitations. Logic, time, and circumstance have no power over emotion that is fully believed. The instant you feel something real within, you have already created it in the invisible realm. The physical world is only catching up. This is why miracles happen to those who dare to feel before they see. They live from the end while others live toward it. They embody their dreams rather than chase them. And so, their dreams cannot help but manifest. So, if you wish to manifest anything, love, freedom, abundance, success, begin not with effort, but with feeling. Feel yourself into the reality you desire. Let your emotions declare the truth before your senses can. The door to every manifestation opens from the inside, and the handle is your feeling. Once you feel it real, the outer world has no choice but to obey. In that moment, your heart becomes the gateway through which the invisible becomes visible, and you realize the eternal truth. What you feel deeply, you create completely. Assume the state of fulfillment. To manifest anything, you must first become it in consciousness. The outer world is not a place where you chase dreams. It is a mirror that reflects your inner state of being. The secret to quick and powerful manifestation lies in one profound principle: assume the state of the wish fulfilled. You must not merely wish for your desire. You must live from it. When you assume a state as real and occupy it with feeling and conviction, your entire reality begins to rearrange itself to support that assumption. The moment you accept something as true within, the invisible laws of creation move to make it visible without. You are not here to beg the universe. You are here to command it through your inner knowing. Assuming the state of fulfillment means identifying yourself completely with the version of you who already possesses what you desire. You stop asking, when will it come, and begin declaring, it is done. In imagination, you step into the finished scene, experiencing the end result as though it were happening right now. You speak, think, and feel from that reality until it becomes natural to you. The outer world has no choice but to conform to that assumption, for it is a mirror that never fails to reflect your inner conviction. Every event, person, and circumstance is drawn to match the frequency of the state you occupy. If you live in the state of lack, you attract more lack. If you live in the state of fulfillment, you attract the evidence of that fulfillment. The reason most people struggle with manifestation is that they continue to live in the state of wanting rather than having. They think about what they desire while simultaneously feeling the absence of it. That emotional contradiction blocks creation. To assume the state of fulfillment is to let go of wanting and to dwell in the feeling of already being. It requires faith not in external signs, but in the unseen power within you. You must learn to trust that what you claim in consciousness is already yours, even if the physical evidence hasn't yet appeared. The outer world is simply delayed reflection. It cannot resist the authority of your inner state. When you assume a state, your entire mindset shifts. Your thoughts change, your emotions stabilize, and your actions align naturally. For example, if you assume the state of wealth, you no longer worry about money or dwell on lack. You begin to think, feel, and act as someone who already lives in abundance. Your energy exudes confidence, gratitude, and ease, and that vibration attracts opportunities and resources that match it. The same applies to love, health, or success. When you assume the state of being loved, you no longer seek validation from others. You radiate wholeness and naturally draw loving experiences to you. The key is consistency. to remain faithful to that inner state regardless of what the outer world shows you. Living from the end does not mean ignoring reality. It means knowing that reality is malleable. You understand that the physical world is not fixed but fluid, a projection of your dominant inner assumptions. When you remain steadfast in your chosen state, the outer world begins to shift, often in ways that defy logic. The phone rings, the opportunity arrives, the person appears, the problem dissolves. These coincidences are not random, they are the natural consequences of your inner assumption taking form. This is the silent yet certain power of consciousness at work. To practice assuming the state of fulfillment, set aside a few moments each day to enter the stillness of your mind. Close your eyes and imagine a scene that implies your desire is already fulfilled. If your goal is to own a successful business, imagine yourself celebrating that success, hearing congratulations, or feeling the satisfaction of accomplishment. If your desire is love, imagine yourself embraced by the person you adore, feeling the warmth and security of that relationship. The scene is not important, the feeling is. Feel it real. Let it be vivid, alive, and saturated with emotion. The more real it feels, the deeper it impresses upon your subconscious, and the faster it manifests into your outer world. The power of assumption works only through persistence. You cannot visit the state of fulfillment once and expect lasting change. You must live there. Whenever doubt, fear, or impatience arises, return to the feeling of, it is done. Your only task is to persist in that state until it becomes your natural dwelling place. The moment it feels natural, manifestation is inevitable. You don't force the world to change. You simply align with the version of reality that already contains your desire. Reality then rearranges itself effortlessly to reflect your new identity. It is important to understand that assumption is not imagination alone. It is imagination plus conviction. It is not wishing, it is being. When you assume, you are not pretending to have, you are knowing you already have. You claim your power as the creator, not the seeker. Every time you hold that state firmly, unseen forces begin to orchestrate events to support your belief. The universe bends to your assumption because your assumption is the signal that sets creation in motion. There is no power greater than your inner certainty. When you assume the state of fulfillment, you free yourself from waiting, from striving, and from fear. You realize that creation is complete, that all possibilities already exist in the infinite field of consciousness. Your desire is not something to be attained, it is something to be selected. You simply choose it, feel it real, and dwell in it until it becomes your world. This understanding liberates you from the illusion of time and struggle. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer hope, you know. In truth, the state you occupy now determines every outcome in your life. Change the state, and you change the story. Assume the state of fulfillment, and the world will mirror that assumption perfectly. Do not wait for evidence. Become the evidence. Do not wait for the dream. Live the dream within. The outer world has no choice but to conform. When you finally understand that the secret of creation lies not in effort but in assumption, you step into your divine authority as the creator of your destiny. Assume it, feel it, and persist, and watch the impossible become inevitable. Inner conversations shape outer reality every moment of the day. You are speaking silently within yourself. You may not notice it, but there is a constant dialogue happening in your mind, a stream of thoughts, judgments, reactions, and self-talk that never ceases. These inner conversations are not harmless chatter, they are the blueprint of your reality. Every experience, every circumstance, and every encounter you face in the outer world is the direct reflection of what you repeatedly say to yourself within. The world you see is a mirror, faithfully echoing the tone and content of your inner speech. To transform your life, you must first transform your inner conversations. Your inner voice is the architect of your destiny. What you whisper to yourself in moments of silence becomes the command your subconscious mind obeys. The subconscious, being creative and not selective, accepts whatever you feed it as truth. If you constantly tell yourself, I am struggling, nothing works out for me, or people don't appreciate me, those words become living realities. They shape your perception, influence your emotions, and attract circumstances that match that frequency. But the moment you change the conversation within, when you begin to say, I am powerful, everything flows in my favor, I am loved, abundant, and guided, the entire script of your life begins to rewrite itself. Your outer world is a stage, and your inner speech is the script that directs every scene. You may believe that events happen to you by chance, but in truth they are drawn to you by the emotional tone of your inner dialogue. The mind is like a broadcasting tower. It transmits the vibration of your thoughts and feelings into the unseen field of energy, and that field returns to you matching experiences. The conversations you hold inwardly with yourself and others are prayers, not in words spoken aloud, but in vibrations felt within. The universe listens not to your lips, but to your inner voice. Most people are unaware of their internal monologue. They react to life's appearances, letting fear, doubt, and limitation dominate their thinking. But the master creator is conscious of his inner world. He observes his thoughts as one would listen to music, knowing that every note matters. He chooses his inner words deliberately, for he understands that every inner statement is a seed of creation. When you take charge of your inner dialogue, you become the deliberate author of your destiny. You are no longer at the mercy of circumstance. You are shaping it moment by moment through the power of thought and feeling. If you want to change your relationships, listen to how you speak to others in your imagination. Do you silently argue, defend, or reason? Or do you imagine harmonious, loving conversations? Every time you replay a negative dialogue in your mind, you are strengthening the version of reality you don't want. But if you imagine a loving exchange, a peaceful outcome, a forgiving word, you are planting the seeds of reconciliation and love. The unseen conversation always precedes the visible one. Long before words are spoken aloud, the tone of that encounter has already been set in your imagination. The same principle applies to success, health, and every aspect of life. If you want to attract prosperity, listen carefully to how you speak to yourself about money. Do you think thoughts of limitation or abundance? Do you imagine yourself saying, "I can't afford this," or "money flows easily to me"? Those inner statements become orders to your subconscious, which then orchestrates circumstances to match them. Your subconscious does not differentiate between imagination and reality. It simply reproduces whatever inner language it receives most often. That is why persistent, positive inner conversations are the foundation of all manifestation. You can begin transforming your world today simply by revising your inner speech. The next time something displeases you, instead of reacting with complaint or frustration, close your eyes and rewrite the scene in your imagination. Hear yourself saying words of gratitude, confidence, or victory. Imagine the other person responding kindly, the problem resolving easily, the outcome unfolding perfectly. Repeat this new conversation until it feels real. The moment it feels natural within, your outer world begins to shift accordingly. This is not wishful thinking, it is creative thinking. The law of consciousness ensures that the inner becomes outer, always. When you change your inner talk, your entire energy field changes. You begin to carry a new vibration, one of peace, confidence, and clarity. People sense it. Opportunities align with it. Even challenges dissolve in the presence of a calm, deliberate mind. The outer world no longer controls you because you have mastered the inner. You understand that no situation has power over you unless you give it power through your mental dialogue. By choosing your inner words wisely, you are choosing the experiences that will follow. The secret to maintaining powerful inner conversations lies in awareness and repetition. Awareness allows you to catch yourself when you drift into fear or doubt. Repetition reprograms your subconscious mind. Each time you replace a negative inner statement with a positive one, you are reshaping the mental blueprint that governs your reality. Consistency is everything. You cannot hold one positive thought in the morning and return to worry the rest of the day. You must nurture your inner world like a garden, removing weeds of fear and planting seeds of faith, gratitude, and joy. With time, these new patterns of thought will bloom naturally into new experiences. Your inner speech is the instrument by which you tune yourself to the frequency of your desires. If you wish to experience love, speak words of love to yourself and about others. If you wish for success, speak as one who already possesses it. Use your imagination to construct inner dialogues that reflect your ideal state. Hear others congratulating you, thanking you, admiring your growth. Feel the joy of those imagined words until they imprint on your subconscious. Once impressed, they must express. Understand this eternal truth: you are always talking yourself into or out of your destiny. The stories you repeat within determine the path you walk without. When you align your inner conversations with your highest vision, the universe rushes to confirm them. Speak life, speak victory, speak peace, and those very things will become your living reality. So guard your inner words as you would guard your greatest treasure. They are not idle, they are creative forces in motion. Let your inner voice declare abundance, love, and success as already yours. Let every silent conversation be one of gratitude and faith. When your inner speech aligns with your desire, you become unstoppable. The outer world has no choice but to echo the music of your mind. The dialogue you hold within is the dialogue life will hold with you. Change your words and you change your world, for your inner conversation is the author of your destiny, and through it, you can shape reality itself. Time collapses in faith. Time is not your enemy, it is your servant. In the realm of manifestation, time bends and folds according to the strength of your faith. What seems distant or delayed to the physical mind already exists in completion within the invisible field of consciousness. Faith is the bridge that collapses the illusion of time and brings the unseen into the seen. The moment you truly believe that your desire is already fulfilled, you pull it out of potentiality and into your present reality. Faith does not wait, faith knows. It does not hope for something to come. It rests in the certainty that it already is. Many people misunderstand manifestation because they view time as a barrier between themselves and their desire. They believe they must wait, struggle, or prove their worth before they can receive what they want. But in truth, creation is finished. Every possible version of your life already exists now, in this very moment, waiting for you to align with it. When you believe completely, when you feel the reality of your desire in the present tense, you step into that already existing version of reality. The timeline rearranges itself to match your inner conviction. What could have taken years can unfold in minutes when faith becomes absolute. Faith is not blind optimism, it is divine knowing. It is the still, unwavering awareness that what you have imagined and accepted within must express itself without. To the logical mind, this seems impossible because it lies bound by clocks and calendars. But consciousness knows no such limits. In the realm of spirit, there is no past or future, only now. The second you assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled and sustain it with faith, the outer world begins to reshape instantly. What others call miracles are simply the natural results of time bending under the weight of unwavering belief. Time is a construct of perception, not a ruler of creation. You are not waiting for your desire to arrive. Your desire is waiting for you to match its vibration. When your faith becomes stronger than your senses, you enter a state where time collapses. You may have noticed moments in life where something you longed for appeared almost instantly after you let go and truly trusted. That is not coincidence. That is the law of faith in action. The moment you release doubt and embrace certainty, energy reorganizes itself to make your belief visible. The universe mirrors your conviction, not your effort. Faith is not passive, it is the most powerful creative force in existence. It is the silent command that says, "This is mine now," even when the outer evidence shows the opposite. The world cannot resist a mind anchored in faith, because faith carries the vibration of completion. When you believe something is done, your actions, words, and emotions naturally align with that belief. You begin to live from the end rather than moving toward it. And when you live from the end, everything necessary to fulfill that vision rushes to meet you. People, resources, opportunities, and timing itself bend in your favor. Or collapse time through faith, you must first master the art of inner stillness. Stop questioning when or how your desire will come. Those questions are born of doubt and keep you chained to delay. Instead, go within and dwell in the feeling that it is already done. Close your eyes and sense the completeness of your desire. Feel the joy, the gratitude, the satisfaction of already possessing it. The longer you remain in that state, the more time begins to dissolve. The clock no longer matters because you are living in the vibration of fulfillment. When you no longer look for signs, you become the sign. When you stop waiting, you start receiving. Faith collapses time because it eliminates resistance. Doubt, fear, and impatience are forms of resistance that stretch the distance between you and your desire. Every time you say, "It's not here yet," you push it further away. But every time you declare it is done, and truly feel it, you pull it closer, until it must appear. This is why those who live by faith seem to move effortlessly through life. They do not fight against time, they flow with it. They understand that the outer world is just a mirror of the inner, and once the inner state is complete, the outer must follow. Faith also changes your perception of waiting. You realize that waiting is not delay but preparation. The world is arranging itself perfectly according to your belief. Just as a seed grows in silence before breaking through the soil, your manifestation often matures unseen before appearing suddenly. But even this growth process is governed by your faith. The stronger your knowing, the faster the unfolding. What feels like time is really your level of belief catching up with the reality that already exists. When faith reaches total certainty, the waiting ends, because you have become one with what you seek. There is immense power in declaring your desire fulfilled now. Every time you affirm, "It is already mine," you are stepping into the timeless realm of creation. You are shifting from the consciousness of longing to the consciousness of being. That single shift is what collapses time. Imagine wanting something so deeply that you can feel its presence now. You taste it, touch it, live it in your imagination until it feels undeniable. That is the moment when faith is complete. And when faith is complete, manifestation is instantaneous. The truth is, nothing takes time. It only takes alignment. The universe does not delay, it responds to the signal you broadcast. The clearer and stronger your signal of faith, the faster the response. You do not need to rush or force anything. You simply need to believe without doubt. The most powerful creators are those who remain calm, confident, and certain even when the outer world shows no evidence. They understand that the physical must eventually reflect the inner certainty. Time is not a wall, it is a mirror. It shows you the state of your faith. So if you wish to manifest quickly, do not fight time. Transcend it. Enter the state of fulfillment now and live from it as your truth. Let your words, emotions, and actions align with the reality you have chosen within. Each moment of genuine faith collapses the illusion of distance between you and your dream. What once seemed far away begins to appear effortlessly, as if drawn by invisible strings. The secret is simple: when faith becomes absolute, time becomes irrelevant. In that state, you are no longer waiting for your miracle. You are living it, because faith is the master key that unlocks every door, bends every rule, and collapses all time between desire and manifestation.